Hey everybody, I am live. And why has it been? I think I haven't been live in almost. And let's just go in here and see. Let me make sure it's showing up on Facebook right now. I didn't make any type of announcement. I was just sitting here and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go live. It's been forever, and I just want to let you know that I really can't even see what you guys are saying because I'm streaming it off a restream because trying to go live on my phone is so crazy. But for anybody coming in or coming in later, hey, or anybody watching this, thank you for watching it. It's been a minute. You guys remember when I used to do lives all the time during the pandemic, or just when I used to do energy forecasts and talk about what's going on in the world and everything. So I was just sitting here on a Sunday afternoon. What is this? Sunday evening, cooking dinner, finished cooking dinner. And I am always just inspired. I'm always just sitting back and reflecting. And I know, like, these are always the times when I sit and I write post, or I do content that I'm going to post on LinkedIn, and I haven't done any content on YouTube in forever, but this is streaming the YouTube, so anybody's watching it, my YouTube people, hey, how are you doing? But I just really was just thinking about my entrepreneurial journey. And I was also thinking, I just wrote a post a minute ago about my parents. They just sold their house this past Friday, which was an amazing blessing. I wish we could really talk about it, but I'll keep it private because that's their story, but it's such a blessing in itself. But just like the shoes that I have been able to follow in. And I was just really thinking about a friend colleague was saying something to me last month about how he has to do what he has to do. And it just made me think about, following your dreams, you have to do what you have to do. And I don't ever really talk about it that much. Look, Bruce wants to get up here. Oh, so sorry, Bruce. Sorry. Sorry, Bruce. I would say Bruce wants to get up here. I never talk about some of the things that I had to do to like get here. And by all means, I'm not gonna say that it's easy. It's very challenging to do entrepreneurship. But I think the message that I really wanted to talk about is people wanting to chase your dreams and what it takes and doing what you have to do to chase your dreams, to build that business, to build that family, to build all the things. These are all the things that I've always talked about, just manifesting the life you want, allowing the process, enjoying the process while you have it. I mean, just some of the crazy things that I've done to get here, right? And my best friend is always telling me, she was like, when it comes to what I'm building, I am pretty humble about that, even though you guys know I can't stand that word humble, but I don't talk about all the things that I'm doing. But I was just thinking about during the pandemic, and this is for somebody I know that's coming in, and maybe you want to chase your dreams, because this is the perfect time right now. If you're wanting to start a business, you may think that it's not a good time, but when the economy is crazy at this moment, this is the perfect time for you to jump in and go after your dreams, right? When I decided to go full on entrepreneurship, because let me tell you guys, I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, but when I started the Circa 81 brand, it was back in 2014 when I ended up losing my job. And I was just like, I'm just going to focus on building this dream. And, I had lost my job at the bank, and every single day I would go and I would sit down at Starbucks and write out my business plan. And I would go down to different vendors and manufacturers, and I would talk to them and ask them questions, and I think that's what's made it a lot easier for me to just go up to people and be like, hey, I want to do business with you. Because since 2014, that's what I would do. I would just go up to random businesses and, hey, I want to learn more about the process. And I tell them what I was doing, and they'd be like, hey, sit down, come back tomorrow. Let me show you how to do this. And I've always had that opportunity of people opening their doors to me and supporting me. And so in this journey, I can't really say that, I've had lots of closed doors and no's all the time. I still get no's all the time, but it's never deferred me from continue to keep going. But I wanted to just talk about some of the things I have done to go after this dream. And I mean, it's crazy, but there's someone out there that, we don't even talk about the word safety, because people to safety was having a government job and working there forever and thinking it was safe. And we see that that's not safe no more. Or just working for a company for 30 years and getting a pension, that does not exist anymore. So what does safety really look like? Safety is something that's within inside of you and yourself, and how do you feel safe? And I just want to say, during the pandemic, I felt so safe in my body. It was crazy. I mean, I knew that I had this big push that was like, it's time, Amber. It's time. You got to stop playing around. You either, you got to do what you got to do. And so when my parents sold their business to another dental firm out of Oklahoma, which, by the way, I ended up working with them for about 6-7 months, took their business from 60,000 to like a little bit under 200,000 in less than 90 days. I said to myself, if I can build a business for somebody like this and do all this work in less than 90 days, I can do this for myself. That is the exact same words I said. And I said, Amber, what is holding you back? And I was scared. I was so scared. Everybody, like, the world has shut down, and I'm talking about going full-time entrepreneur, and I didn't even have really a client to do this work, right? But the clients did show up, right? And I remember December, it was coming around this time. I was just like, Spirit was saying to me, hey, we're not going to take you to the next level until you quit your job. And at that time, a lot of you guys know, I was at WSU Tech, I think I started at WSU Tech like 2018, 2019. And then that's when I decided I was going to go back to school to become an engineer. It just kind of caught me off guard. I didn't see that coming. And literally in the midst of that, I was waiting to get my entire award letter saying that I got into WSU's engineering department, which was so crazy. So literally what happened was, I had to have a Jesus moment with me in November. And it's kind of crazy because we're in November right now. And I always feel like November is it's towards the end of third quarter. And, you're kind of shifting through what you were doing, like what kind of pivots do you have to make? And I said, you know what? It's time. I got to do this. I got to fully jump, right? So what did I do? I literally had to sit in quietness for all of December. And then I wrote my letter to resign from my job, right? I had to put it on a timer. I put it at 4:44 on a timer. And literally soon as that letter went through, my regional manager called me like, what do you mean? We need to talk on Monday. What do you mean you're quitting? But I felt like that was the best time for me to quit, or probably I wouldn't have been there, right? So I ended up quitting that job. I ended up staying an extra month for them because they were like, we can't lose you. We wanted to promote you. And I was like, man, I told y'all that I was going back to school to be an engineer. Like, that's what it was. I got to do what I got to do. And I keep hearing that from what my friend told me. I got to do what I got to do. And Stanford, if you're watching this, you inspired me by saying that I got to do what I got to do, right? So literally in the midst of all that, that was what? I quit my job. This was 2021. The next thing that I wanted to do, my car was having problems. And literally I had $2,000 left on my car to pay on it. And literally it had $3,000 problems. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. I'm not about to put $3,000 into a car when I owe $2,000 left on it. So what did I do? I remember telling one of my friends, and this is one thing that I do. I do not ask my friends anymore what they think I should do. I don't ask people what I should do unless they have done what I've done and I want some advice from it. So I only ask people who have multi-million dollar businesses now, do you think this is a good idea? I don't ask average Joe Blow, you're still working 9 to 5. No offense to anybody. Should I make this decision? I ask people that are literally have so much to lose that they're like, what do you think about it? Right? And then most times I don't even really ask for that much advice. I literally sold my car. My car sold within like 2 weeks. And I was without a car. I was literally without a car for 3 years, purposely after a while, because I said, you know what? I need to sit in this. I need to know, is this what I really want to do? Do I really want to be an engineer? Because you know what? There were so many hurdles I came across me going out being an engineer. Like, I literally flunked statistics, but who takes statistics online in the middle of a pandemic, right? Right? So I literally flunked statistics and I sat out a whole semester and I was like, Amber, do you really want to be an engineer? Is this really what you want to do? So I took like 6 months off and I sat in it. And don't ever ask me how I make things happen, because I'm telling you, it's me and God. We're always co-creating and things just always work out. And that's just my mindset. Things are always working out for me. So literally I sat out for like 6 months. And then ended up going back into the program and then passing the class. And of course, you guys know I graduated in December 2023, which it'll be 2 years. And then I shifted in adding engineering to my business. And if you guys are new and you don't, because another friend asked me, he's like, Amber, what are you, an architect? Are you a GC? Are you an engineer? What do you do? Right? So I am an engineer by trade, if everybody's always wondering. But I own Circa 81 Design. We are a Native American women-owned design, engineering, construction management firm, and we provide future-focused solutions and design to tribal, federal, and private sectors. So we're in the architectural, engineering, construction space. So if you're ever wondering what I do, I just told you what I do. And a lot of people still don't understand what that is. And I think that you need to understand there's always a pre-planning process when it comes to building things or infrastructure or managing projects. That's what I do. I manage projects. I manage engineers, if you're always wondering what I do. But getting back to, in the midst of that, I literally quit my job in the middle of the pandemic, okay? I had a little bit of savings. I quit my job in the middle of the pandemic. And you guys remember I used to get on here and do lives all the time, talking about my journey, showing you guys my journey. It's so crazy to sit here and I see the turmoil we're going through in the economy at this moment. And I just want everybody to know that you have to shift your mindset from the economy you see, and you have to step into the economy that God's providing for you, okay? And if you guys are saying anything right now, I can just see people are coming on live, but I can't comment on here. So I'll come back and comment later, right? So we have to really shift our mindset to be in God's economy. You can't be thinking and living in this economy that we're living in now. Just think, I sold my truck, literally I would Uber and Lyft to Wichita State every single day. I would Uber and Lyft to meetings. People didn't even know. And then sometimes my family would let me borrow the cars they had. But I'd just be thinking about the sacrifices I made to get to what we're doing, multi-million-dollar projects, and being able to bid on multi-million-dollar projects and winning multi-million-dollar projects. And so it's just, I sit here and I think about some of the challenges I'm going through to now. They're nothing compared to the sacrifice that I took on to take on this journey of full-time entrepreneurship. And I felt like this is a time to get back on live again at this moment where everybody's scared, we're frustrated, you're mad, you're like Democrat, Republican, because let me just tell you, I'm neither. I might agree with one side or the other side, but I don't choose a side, right? But this is such a pivotal time for people who are really wanting to chase their dreams, right? And so this is the best time to jump. Safety isn't real, guys. Safety is something you feel with inside yourself. When I hear women talk about, I need safety from men, you need safety within yourself before you're looking for safety in a man, or you're always going to be like, I never feel safe with him, because you don't feel safe in your body. And I've been doing this work forever. I mean, people know, if you've been watching me for years, and you guys know when I used to do my goddess circles and I used to do the energy work, and I don't do this stuff. I get to do that work with the land now, and I consider myself a steward of the land. And I just see how far I've come, and I still have a long way to go. But I think that at this pivotal time right now, this is such a time for everybody to reset and really think about what they're doing now. Is it making sense? Not even the fact, is it making money, but are you happy? And people nowadays are not even happy. I'm so happy with less. And so I think that's why it's able for me to go sometimes and do the things I do with less, because I'm happy with less. And I just want to ask you, like, are you happy? And are you trying to make yourself happy? Because I talk about this all the time with my friends. Like, we got to do what we got to do. And I go back to what my friend told me, he has to do what he has to do. And I think so many entrepreneurs, people are chasing their dreams. That is something we're faced with. We have to do, we have to do. And it's something that's asking us every single day, like, do you still want this? How bad do you want it? And do you ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Do you ask yourself, like, am I in alignment with everything I'm doing? Does it make sense? Do the people around me make sense? Are the people that are, I saw something this girl said today, one thing I understood about growing up, and I read about this, when you're going after your dreams, your circles are going to change constantly. And I think that's the one thing that I've been okay with, losing friends along the way, and it's not a bad thing. They were just people that were part of your story. And I think that we look at people now as a gift, as a lesson, and they're part of your story, and they show up at the right time, and they teach us something, or they were there to support us in that season of our life. Then, we don't look at losing people all the time as a bad thing. And another thing I think that I have known since a little girl is that we don't live forever. And that's why it's so important to give people their flowers while they're here today. Like, you got to let people know that you appreciate them. You got to let people know when you feel it on your mind that I was thinking about you. And I know for me personally, I do that all the time. If I'm thinking about somebody, I will shoot them a text. I will check in with them. We'll do wellness checks. People do wellness checks on me. People do wellness checks. And people are always checking on me like, Amber, we're just checking on you. How are you doing? Because you're doing a lot. And I do. And I just want to let you tell you that I have been training for this. I've been training for this dream my entire life. And I just want somebody who's watching this, who's ready to make a jump, or you're in the midst of this jump, to not be discouraged. Because I'm telling you guys, every single day I have to train my mind to see myself winning. Every single day I have to know, even when I get a no, I got to keep going. Even when there's no cash. Because sometimes, guys, I done had $500,000 in the bank account. It's about $2 in the bank account, right? Guys, I have to train my mind to be able to keep going, and to know that it's never going to run out. It's going to keep happening. It's going to keep going, and all is well, all is happening. And I think that it's just so important to really turn to your neighbor, your friend, and ask them sometimes, are you happy? So whoever's watching this right now, are you happy? So all of to say, I have done a 20-minute live. I think this is enough. But oh my God, I feel so inspired to get back and do lives again. And if you follow me on YouTube, you can watch all my old contents where I talk about manifestation. I talk about my journey. I talk about how I got in engineering. I share more on LinkedIn than I do on here most of the times. I barely be on Instagram. I'm just not really a fan of Instagram. But I love sharing my journey, because someone always needs to hear these words of inspiration, and you need to understand that you've got to step out of this economy that you see right now, and you've got to step into the economy that God has for you, and you literally have to co-create. You really need to, I do these exercises with my son too, and I have him write down what he wants. I've been having him visualize his dream. He's always reaching the things he wants. And so I just think it's so important for you, if you're wanting to change your life, if you're wanting to be happy, to really take inventory of what's going on today, because this is a perfect time to pivot. Somebody who's watching this, they're ready to pivot. Like, pivot, guys. And, I'm a component of prayer, manifestation, meditation. I'm a huge meditator. Been meditating for, I want to say over 15 years. And I'm a journaler, I'm a prayer, I've done therapy, I've done all the things, right, that has prepared me to take on these challenges of building and scaling a firm in the middle of the apocalypse, right? But even on the days when, and don't get me wrong, guys, I have my down days. And when I have them, I allow myself to sit in them. Remember, I take ownership of them. And then I get back and I be like, Amber, we're not going to wallow over these things. We got a mission to do. We got big plans. So let's get back to it. So thank you guys, if you're watching this, for watching my live. And no, I'm not getting on here talking about the woo-woo stuff, that I used to talk about. I'm talking about real life stuff. You got to do what you got to do. And somebody's ready to jump in this economy and start a business, or go after their dreams, or start a YouTube channel, or start something, or go after a relationship, or start therapy. You're wanting to do something, and now's the time to do it, right? But I just always wanted to share some of the things I had to do to get to where I am. Not saying you got to do them. I'm just saying these are things that I did for myself. But I might do this more often, or I might not. I don't want to promise you that I am, because I got so much content on YouTube that you can watch. And you can follow me on LinkedIn if you're that type of person. But I won't promise you that I'll get on here. But today I felt like getting on live. So I'll see you guys later.